All right, B Smokehouse back here with you. Today we're gonna make a nice Texas red chili. I'll say Texas red, Texas chili. I'm not putting any beans in my chili now. If you decide to replicate this recipe, go ahead, use all the beans you want to. I typically don't. Now, this is a recipe I kind of took and tailored from my grandmother. She used to always make chili growing up in Houston. I have altered it a bit. I typically use about 3 different types of chili peppers in mine. However, 2 of those chili peppers are known to be hot. Speaking of ancho and chipotle, right? I will still be using a chipotle and a bit of regular chili powder. Regular chili powder is typically a blend of different chili powders. However, it's a little bit tampered down than say using a direct chipotle chili powder. All right, so let's go over some of our ingredients. All right, here you've got, that's about 10 bulbs of garlic. I like to be real garlic heavy in my chili. And we've got green bell pepper, red bell pepper, onions. The premise of this recipe is also to use things I have on hand. I don't feel like going to the store. One thing I like about making the chili my way is I typically make it out of what I have here in the house, right? So anybody can do this. Typically you have some of these ingredients sitting around in your pantry. Also, we've got tomato paste, pureed tomato, and crushed tomatoes. You can use raw tomatoes. You can use any other tomato products. I've seen people use things like tomatoes and hatch chilies in cans to make a certain type of recipe. You can do that as well. I've done it. It still comes out pretty good. All right, we've got onion powder. We've got chicken bouillon powder. We've got black pepper, seasoned salt. You notice this keeps coming up. Chipotle chili pepper powder, smoked paprika chili powder, another different brand of chili powder, cayenne pepper, another Lawry's less sodium, oregano, ground cumin, some more oregano. I got ground ginger and garlic powder. We're gonna go ahead and put this together. I'm gonna show you, actually in the back there, I have brown sugar. I'm gonna show you how I make my, my chili. This will be a Texas style chili. Stay tuned. All right, first thing we're gonna do, only thing I've done, I've got some olive oil down here in the pot. So this recipe is gonna be a bit untraditional. However, I'm still calling it Texas red. Still gonna be tomato based, chili powder based, and we're gonna use turkey, a little bit healthier alternative. I'm gonna still show you how to make this delicious. The same things I do with this turkey, you would do with ground beef or hell, I've made chili with brisket, pork butt, leftovers. There's many different chilies you can make. And you know, this is really can be a, you know, year-long argument with somebody, especially if you're from Texas, the way a chili is supposed to be made and what classifies as a chili. So yeah, I'm still calling this my Texas red. And I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. So I've got this fire on a medium high. I don't really work with measurements when I'm making chili, right? And I'll show you, but I'll do my best to kind of point out how much of the ingredients I'm using. Currently, I'm going to be using about 1 pound of ground turkey. The reason I added this grease as a lubricant, especially because the protein we're using don't really have no fat in it. This is lean ground turkey, and so this oil will also help me hydrate the spices I'm going to use. And we're going in the turkey. Give me a minute, let me wash my hands. All right, while that goes, I've already prepared, as I showed you in the first portion of this video, preparation makes this go by quicker, right? So I've already cut up all my bell peppers, all my garlic, all my yellow onions. Soon as this gets some color to it, and I am looking to put some color on this, we're gonna get that fire a little bit higher. All right, I get some color on this. I'll be back. It's gonna take 5-10 minutes for the brownness I'm looking for on this turkey. Now, it is a lean meat, so just stay tuned and watch what I do. I promise you this won't be, I don't know how you make a dry chili, but I promise you because of what we're using, this ain't gonna be lacking no flavor just because it's turkey. Again, another healthy alternative. Stay tuned. Now we're gonna go in with our vegetables. Like clearing out a side, putting them in the corner of the pot where they can actually touch that that fat, that grease, and go ahead and render themselves out. Now I've not seasoned anything yet. Not seasoned anything. You're trying to get some additional flavor in there, right? So we want, whatever protein you're using, especially if it's a ground meat, you want the bottom side of that that's touching that pot, you want it browning. You want some actual browning going on. The issue sometimes with using ground meats is that it got so much moisture in that meat. You're gonna have to wait till that moisture evaporates and cooks off before you get some actual legit browning going on. I don't mind that we've got time. I'm not in a rush, right? You don't cook in a rush. You cook with love and some patience. It's already smelling pretty good here. Those vegetables have begun to saute. We're gonna let this go ahead. I'm going to wait till my vegetables have sauteed down as well as got some more color here on this protein. And then I'll be back. All right, we're going in with our garlic. I made me a well in the middle of my pan. Trying to get it all in there. I'll let that garlic become fragrant. It doesn't take long. I'll go ahead and start mixing that in, and then I'll get my other items, my seasonings and my tomato bases in. So, you did know, there's not more than one way to skin a cat, if you will. That smells good, that garlic. I've also made chili just using dried chili peppers as a base. Delicious. It's got a more earthier, ground-like flavor. And you pretty much just pulverize and hydrate those chilies, and then you blend them down, and that is your base. That's what you would start with. Some people will still use tomatoes. A tomato-based chili is a tomato-based chili. When I'm using those dried peppers, that's all I need. And then the seasonings, of course. But really, I mean, that type of chili is not a tomato-based chili, right? I mean, you can do what you want. However, traditionally, in the olden days, here on the range, nearest Mexico and in Mexico, that's kind of where this dish comes from. Chilies were the method of the day. That's what they used to infuse a lot of flavor into dishes. Your carne guisadas and your other different soup-like dishes. Man, those dry chilies, they really lend something that typically your powders don't. I've made it both ways. My family loves it all. Just different. My grandmother never made a chili with those dry chili pods, right? And they can be packing some heat. It's really deceptive. However, that depth of flavor you ain't gonna get anywhere else. All right, so now we're gonna make another well, and I'm going to get some tomato paste here in the pot. This is one heaping teaspoon, one heaping teaspoon of tomato paste, right? I want to get this tomato paste down touching the hot portion of this pot. I need that heat to assist me in getting some of this acidity out of it, right? This is one of the reasons why in spaghetti and stuff like that, you might see people use a little sugar. I'm trying not to do that. So once I taste over our product, I'll determine what I need to do to kind of get that acidity down. But this is one way to kind of get that acidity out. We're going to let it go on the fire, and then I'll be back. Only thing I've done is roast off that tomato paste. Now we're going to go in with our other tomato products. Our pureed tomatoes. No particular order. Then our crushed tomatoes. Again, I'm using tomatoes as my base today. Again, there are many other ways to do this. All right. I have to get everything out that I can. And mix. We're really tomato heavy. However, what we're gonna do is we're gonna infuse this, right? I typically use, or I have seen people also use beef stock. That's what I'm gonna use. However, I'm gonna use a combination of beef stock and chicken bouillon, chicken powder, to get the flavor I'm looking for. Again, a bit untraditional, but you use what you've got. And I'm still gonna call this a Texas Red. If you grew up eating chili, some sort of form or fashion, you know, let me know down in the comments how yours was made. What was the base? How long did your parents or whoever was making your chili, how long did they let it simmer? All right? What's your favorite condiment to eat alongside with chili? Typically mine is going to be cornbread of some sort or crackers. All right, so now we're going to go in with our liquids. This is beef stock. Beef stock I actually made. All right. Now again, realize I haven't put any seasoning in this yet. There's a bit of seasoning in that beef stock. No seasoning. I'm getting raw tomato smells. That's what I smell. Get that fire back up. I don't want this to start to do this splattering, right? This could splatter pretty violently. I'm going to start going in with my seasonings, no particular order. Right here we've got onion powder. We're going to get a few good tablespoons of this, about 3 tablespoons. Just remember, raw garlic that we use, and we sauteed it down, and actual garlic powder itself, 2 distinct different tastes. About 3 good tablespoons of that. We go pretty heavy with the seasonings in this because I've still got some liquid to add to this, right? I'm gonna turn it down because it's splattering. I don't want to get hit. Three good tablespoons of chili powder. I'm gonna add some chipotle chili powder to this. A little bit less in quantity, maybe 1 tablespoon, because this usually packs some heat, if you didn't know. It'll only take you one time to find out. The other one I like to add, I don't have any more of, is ancho chili powder. This is some paprika, smoked paprika, right? Again, it's all helping to maintain that redness. Then we're gonna get in here and give it a good mix. Again, I've not yet, besides that, the beef broth, I've added no extra liquid in here. And we're going to, I find that typically you know, the day of chili. So eating this right after it's simmered on the day of, typically the next day is what you want. The next day, those spices have had time to bloom, and all your flavors have had time to melt and come together. The next day, this is going to be even better than the first day that this was made. Yeah, we got some splattering going on. I'm gonna turn it down for now. We're gonna go in with, I'm gonna go in with 2 tablespoons of oregano. Actually, we're gonna use that whole thing. We're gonna go in with a little cayenne, just a pinch, just a pinch. Going in with my Lawry's. Again, this is low sodium variant. And one of the things that's really a staple is cumin. All right? We're gonna get a solid 3 tablespoons of that cumin. And this is the ginger, ground ginger. Give it a good mix, and then I'll go in with my liquids. And we're gonna let this, I'm gonna bring it back up to the boil and turn it down, let it simmer. Right now, it's not ready to go. And it's already smelling like chili, but we've got a few hours to go. This is a base. So this is gonna simmer for me about 3.5, 4 hours, guys. Now, does yours have to simmer that long? No. No. All right, so the only thing I've done, I added about 5 cups of water in here. I'm gonna let this come to the boil, then I'm gonna turn it down to about a medium fire. What I want to do now, this is where we concentrate flavors. So, you know, you can watch the ring around this pot. What'll happen is we're gonna bring it to a boil, turn the flame down, and over time, I'm gonna simmer this for about 2.5, 3.5 hours. You'll see the levels in here start to drop as your water starts evaporating. That is how we concentrate flavors. Again, nothing too hard. When I think this is done, that is when I will give this a taste test. You'll be back here with me. I may get some cornbread or something going on, or I might keep it simple. Again, chili is one of those things, it doesn't take much to make it. And really, I'm satisfied with a bowl of Texas Red. On a cold day, it's starting to get cold here. I'll put a little cheddar cheese on top, some sour cream, maybe some green onions and some white onions. That's all I need. I'll dip me a few white crackers, saltines in, and for me, that is a meal. I'll eat 2 or 3 bowls of this, and I might eat on it throughout the week. Stay tuned. Here's the finished product, guys. That chili has been simmering for 3.5 hours. I've got some different ways we eat chili. Of course, this chili can be used for hot dogs, right? You see the Fritos here, a Texas thing. I don't know if they ate this anywhere else growing up. You go ahead and put that chili inside of those Fritos with some cheese, some onions. You've got yourself a Frito pie or a Frito chili pie. I usually eat my chili with crackers. Then of course you have all the other usual suspects, right? We got some that can be yellow onion. I have red. That's what I had left. We've got some green onion. Of course, we got some green cheese, preferably being all cheddar. I had a mix, so that's what I used. Again, you see it. I've got some sour cream on there with some cheese, the red onions, and then some green onions. And then I also made some cornbread muffins. That's how we're going to cap this off. So let's recap what we did. All right, so I took some ground turkey, seared it off. In the same pot, I went ahead and sauteed my vegetables, bell peppers, red and green, yellow onion, some garlic. Once that all came together, then I then went in and put all my tomato-based products in, along with their liquid. To that, I also added some beef stock I had sitting around from the last cook I did. That beef stock went in, and then I added all of my seasonings. I did add a pinch of brown sugar, a pinch of white sugar. That was off camera. Other than that, I also went and added a few cups of water to the mix. It was thin once we first started. Now that chili has thickened up. Also under this, what you don't see is a bed of white rice. I like eating cornbread with mine, as well as crackers. Right? I like chili any type of way. This chili is really versatile. Again, this cook altogether took about 4 hours total, and I could have made it go quicker than that. However, there's no point. The longer this sets, the longer it cooks, the better it'll be. In fact, tomorrow I come back and I get me a bowl of it. This chili will have had time to meld in a refrigerator. Tastes even better. So there you have it. You see it? A bowl of Texas red. Others know it as chili. Be back with the next video.